Hello, welcome everybody, and a very special welcome to our new author, Jen Montgomery-Rice. Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you this morning?
I'm so good. I am excited for your book launch. How are you feeling?
I'm thrilled to be here and I'm really appreciative of you having me today. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting. Let's show everybody your book and please tell them the title.
Okay. The name of my book is Joe Bunny Springs to Life.
Oh, such a fun book. Can you tell everybody what inspired you to write this book?
Joe Bunny is a story that my family has told for years and years. So my kids are 35 and 37. And when they were toddlers, my husband and I told the story of Joe Bunny nightly, right before bed. And we would read regular books with them, and then we'd tuck them in there, and they would settle down, and it was time for Joe Bunny. And each night was a different adventure. So they believed Joe was a stuffy in their basket that they had of stuffed toys. And as soon as they went to sleep at night, he would come alive. So I've changed it a little bit in this book, but it's still the same spirit of it. So this is the story we always wanted to tell.
How special to bring in such a memory that you had with your own children, and now this is come to life. And he's such a cute bunny. Is this how you imagined him back in the day when you would tell his stories?
I think so, but my illustrator was fabulous. Zoe Saunders is
Hmm.
so intuitive, and she and I had a great conversation like we are this morning, talking about what Joe meant to our family and we thought he might look like. And she helped to create Joe in this image. I thought of the heart on Joe because that's
Hmm.
friendship and caring and love. It's the emoji, right? But uh, also that Joe had so much heart. And she thought of the patch on
I
his,
love the patch. I love the
'cause-
patch too.
right, because we talk about Joe as being so well loved that he's all worn out. So that's what the
Oh,
patch
well,
is about.
well, this is so special. I'm so glad that now you get to share this book with the world, Jen. This is
Yes.
so exciting. So,
It
can you tell everybody what is the book about and who would you say it's for?
Hmm. So Joe Bunny is a stuffy that lives with his child Morgan, and their family goes through a move, and the two of them get separated. Well, Joe, of course, wants to get back to his child, so he transforms, I'll say. I don't want to give it away too much. And he goes on an adventure to find his girl Morgan.
Mm.
So you'll have to read the book to find out if he did. And this book is really for kids, like probably 3 to 8 years old. I taught through third grade, which is around 8 years old, and I used to tell this story to my third graders as well. And it's also for all the parents out there and all of the teachers and other people who love children who maybe know that a stuffy is a great emotional support for kids, or maybe they had their own stuffy and they wish
Mhm.
that stuffy could come to life.
Oh, yes, yes. Like I can think about my own children and the stuffies that they carried around everywhere. My oldest, who now has a child herself, like we still have that bear all, looking
Oh,
really rugged, 20 something years old, but it's so nice because they keep, because those stuffies are so important to them that
yeah.
and I can only imagine to write a story where the stuffy comes to life. Like that is just so special. Is there
Oh,
anything else that you hope parents and kids will take away from this book?
so this story is really love and friendship. A lot of children need to have an object that is their special something. And everybody should have a best friend. For many
Hmm.
kids, it is a stuffed toy. And I want parents and everyone to understand that a stuffed toy is um, love. It can be love. And everything that is going on in the world today, I think more love and friendship is needed. So I'm hoping.
Yes, for sure, for sure. Well, that's exciting. I'm excited for everybody to get a copy of this book. So let me take a moment and let you know that this book, Joe Bunny Springs to Life, is available today on Amazon. So starting today, book launch day. So go there, grab a copy of this book. It's going to be there in soft cover, hardcover, ebook version. You want to share this type of book, this special book with the children in your life.
Thank you. Yes. And today, if people go to Amazon and buy the book today, launch day, those funds that I receive will be given to Maine Children's Alliance, which works to help children in the state of Maine.
That's so great. Okay, friends, another reason, go today and purchase a couple of copies of this book. The proceeds are going to a great organization. I love that, Jen. Love
Yeah.
that. So let me ask you a little bit now about your author journey. We know that it
Mhm.
comes with a lot of lessons and challenges along the way. First, let me ask you, how long had you been thinking about writing a children's book for or being an author?
Oh, probably my whole life. I used to
Yeah.
write stories when I was a kid all the time, and I would think, oh, I'm going to write a book someday. But life gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I was a
Mm-hmm.
teacher for years, a daycare provider. I raised my kids. And when I finally had time, it's my retirement. Uh,
Yes.
so I feel like I've been given a new lease on life because this is the next chapter in my journey, right? But Joe Bunny, because he was part of our family and always something that I shared with my students when I was a teacher too, I really wanted everyone to benefit from this story, to have it.
Oh, Jen, well, today is the day. Today's the day that you made that
Yeah,
a reality. You are an author. Oh, that's so exciting, and it's so good to hear that. If I can imagine little Jen as a child, hoping that one day she would be an author, and today is that day. So
right.
that's so great, so great. So
Yeah.
let's talk about that. What would you say was your biggest challenge when writing this book?
Uh, because there are so many Joe Bunny stories running around in my head, I would say most likely the challenge was boiling it down and deciding on one story to tell. And I needed to introduce Joe to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that was difficult to create because my family, as I said, knew all about him. So I needed to create those elements. But I really have to thank Sharon Jennings, my editor, who helped me to get it down to just 34 pages, and to help me see that sometimes you don't have to tell everything, you can show it in illustrations. And another shout out to my illustrator. She worked with me on that. So I would say the challenge was definitely trying to create a concrete book that told the story and that kids would understand well, in simple language that they could
Right.
read eventually. I have
Yes.
I have a 6-year-old grandson who's starting to read everything right now. And so he was in my head all the time as the person I wanted to write this for.
That's so good. When I read your author note
Mhm.
on and dedication, and you talked about Joe Bunny being a part of your family and so many stories, and then I saw all the bunnies around, I thought, how did she choose what story to tell? But I want to give you props on that. You chose the best story, I feel. I don't know the other stories, but a great start to a series on Joe Bunny. I think you did an excellent job with this
Thank
book.
you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
labor of love.
Yes, I can only imagine how much your family will treasure this book because it's such a part of their legacy.
Oh, definitely. And they helped me along the way too. I from the beginning I wanted to put my husband's name on the cover as one of the writers, and he said, "No, no, you've done this because you've created this one story." And I said,
Hmm.
"Okay." But I said, "Truly this story belongs to our entire family." And I would send them different things as our illustrator created different pages, and I would say, "What do you think?" And when we created Joe, I said, "What do you think? Do you think he should have the patch here? Where do you think the heart should go?" all those questions. So
Mm.
this was completely, a coordinated effort among us.
So nice, so nice, so special. Okay, so what about lessons? Let's talk about what would you say was the biggest lesson for you throughout the publishing process?
Mm. I I thought I could do it in no time.
Mm,
And it takes a lot longer than you think it will. Your program, Miriam Laundry Publishing, Mastermind, it's called, it helped me to have the structure so that I had deadlines and I had goals and I understood where I was going with the process. All of the program information that you have online helped me to know where my next steps would be, and that structure probably enabled me to finish this finally,
mm,
because it's always been bubbling there under the surface in my life. But I thought, nope, this is it. I'm going to finish. So having
mm.
a structure around you, following the steps, and oh, another thing I want to say is that the group was so fantastic. I
Yeah.
always felt like I could do it myself, and I didn't know I needed a group, but I did. They have been
Yes.
wonderful cheerleaders, peers. It's been a really nice experience.
I love hearing that, Jen. And I want to just take a moment and let everybody know, like, yes, of course we could do things on our own and go right and publish on our own, but isn't it more fun to
Yeah,
do it in a group, to have peers? And like you said, you become each other's cheerleaders when your
right.
books come out, right? Because you've been through it together. Oh, I love that.
I get
Yeah.
so excited when I'm about to have the meetings now. Like, oh, I
Mm.
wonder how everybody's doing. I wonder what's going on. So that's
Oh,
been a
good.
terrific thing.
Yes, yeah. And what would you say is the best part of accomplishing this dream for you, to hold your book in your hands, to be a children's book author?
Here it is. Um, it, it's a dramatic accomplishment, but I think I need people to know it doesn't matter when it happens in your life. I'm in my 60s, and I waited too long, probably. I wish I had found this program 20 years ago, but I want people to know it can still happen for them.
Yes.
And you can have that next chapter.
I love that. This is your next chapter. This is the perfect time for you, Jen, to put out this book. You've got the time now, and now it's about letting everybody know that this wonderful book is out, right? And sharing it with the world. That's very exciting. So
Yes.
now here you are, the published children's book author. What advice do you have for someone who may be watching this and thinking and, having their own dream of writing and publishing a book?
Probably you can do it. You can do this. One of the things that drew me to your website was I saw a little blurb, I think, on Instagram that said, it doesn't matter if you're a writer, it doesn't matter if you went to school for X, Y, or Z, you can do this. And
Hmm.
I mean, I was a teacher. That's not necessarily conducive to writing a book because you have a lot of information, but you still have to write. And
Hmm.
I thought, okay, I don't know. I don't know if I can do it. And your cheerleading, to use that word again, really got me motivated. So I hope that I motivate other people to do the same thing.
Oh, I am so sure that you will. So, friends, authors, aspiring authors who are watching this interview, please leave a comment in the chat. Is Jen motivating you to go and just do it and really to believe that you can? Because I know that you are. I know that you are. Anytime that we go for it, that we accomplish such a dream, we are an example to other people. So, Jen, I love that. It just kind of, it's that ripple effect, right? That continues and continues. Well,
Yeah,
all
definitely.
right. So besides going to Amazon, friends, remember today when you purchase on Amazon, the proceeds are going to help. Is it Children of Maine?
Maine Children's Alliance.
Maine's Children's Alliance, a great organization that supports children. So make sure to go there. But besides going to Amazon, where else can our viewers find you?
So I have a website. I created it for this, and it's jenmontgomeryrice.com. And I know that's a big name. So it's all squished together, no hyphen in there, just jenmontgomeryrice.com. I'm on Facebook as Jen Montgomery Rice, comma, author, and Instagram as Jen MR author. So
Excellent. Okay, friends, go there, go watch her, go follow her. I wish I could be, the fly on the wall when you share this book with your family because I know that it's so special to you and to all of them. I'm so glad that you wrote this book. So, congratulations, Jen. And
thank you.
before we go, I always like to ask this: is there anything else you want to share or anything that you wish I would have asked you?
Um, Let's see. I would like to share how wonderful the experience was with my illustrator again, Zoe Saunders. I would like to thank my mentor, which is another thing I think that your program does that's different than anywhere else, is that you have a person to speak with every month and go over things. So
Mhm.
Sylvia, shout out to you. Uh,
Hmm.
and really, I want to thank my family for their support. And I also have a beautiful group of friends that have been helpful to me. So thank you to them. Um, and like I said in my dedication, I really am thankful to all the children I've had in my life because all of them factored into, what was in my head when I was creating Joe Bunny Springs to Life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you, Jen. And it's been such a pleasure talking to you. Thank you, friends. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
And thank you to the Miriam and the Miriam Laundry team. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so welcome. Thanks.